Well, good morning. Good morning. Okay, this is Dr. Herbert Harris, and I want to welcome everyone to Success Mentorship Class number 378. Wow. I want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day, knowing that this is going to be an incredible weekend, that we're going to have great times and have great thoughts about what this holiday is all about. Our topic for today is mid-course correction. Is it time to change direction in your life? I'm going to say that again because I think that's a question that many of us are asking. Is it time to change direction in my life? Do I need to make a mid-course correction right now so that I can change the trajectory of my life and create a different outcome? Before we get started, let me do our meditation to get us centered. Just take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this space of peace and relaxation, I am at peace with myself. In this state of peaceful calmness, I am at peace with myself. Let us affirm that together. I am at peace with myself. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And in this peaceful state, as we disconnect from all outside vibrations and outside influences, so that we can be focused on this moment, so that our minds are open, receptive, and ready to learn. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let's affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Just let that sink in. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. And so it is. I want to thank every one of you. Many of you have gotten a copy of our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success, and gotten the incredible vacation package. And for those of you that haven't, it's available at www.theperfectgift.me, theperfectgift.me. And as you know, when you get a 3 or 6 book package, you get a 7-night, 8-day vacation complimentary. So if you haven't gotten yours, get it now. It's the perfect graduation gift to change the world and to change somebody you care about. I want to start with a quote this morning, and one of the great coaches, John Wooden, said, "It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen. It's the little details that are vital. Little things make big things happen." And I chose that quote because right now we are 5 months into the new year. As a matter of fact, we're almost finished the 5th month of the year, which means that nearly half of the year is gone. And if we're living a goal oriented life, purpose driven life, a life based on things we want to be, do, and have, we must ask ourselves, are we where we want to be? We must assess our present situation to determine our next steps. That's the beauty of life. You know, the law of change, the second law of success says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so when you make that assessment of where you are right now, if you're not happy with it, the second law says you can change it. You can transform your life by transforming and changing your thinking. So when we look at life, life is really a journey. It's a journey that should be a mission, but often it's a mystery. And the mystery of life, or the mystery of the journey, is a result of our own thinking. You know, we're the only creature in God's creation that has this ability to create our world and our thoughts. You see, all the other creations live in accordance with their nature. Man has this ability to choose, and based on the choices and the thoughts reflected through those choices, we create a different reality for ourselves. It's kind of scary because it says whatever we're experiencing right now in our lives, we did it. We created it. So if it's something great, hallelujah, take credit. If it's something not great, take credit anyway, because if you don't take credit, you can't fix it. So as we look at where we are this month, we look ahead, we assess our present situation so we know what to do next. The one thing we know is this. Einstein said insanity is doing the same things over and over and expecting a different result. And so when we look at where we are right now, it's time to really assess our situation and then address what needs to be done so that we know what to do next. If we look at our present situation, we really have three options. You're happy with your performance. You're not happy with your performance. Or you're not paying attention to your performance. Many times when I talk with young people and I ask, what are you doing? And they say, I'm chilling. So what does that mean? You know, I'm doing nothing. I'm just laying back listening to music or just doing nothing. And so if we look at these three options, let's look at option number 3. If you're not paying attention and don't really care where you are, that's a bad thing. Because you are dishonoring the Creator who gave you the greatest gift of all, the present of life. And so given this present of life, this consciousness of time, if we're not doing something effective with it, we will pay. Okay? We will pay. A lot like there's a parable, the parable of the talents, and it says how the master gave one servant 5 talents and said, take these talents and work with them and report when I come back. Another servant, they gave 2 talents. He said, take these talents and work with them and report when I come back. And then the third servant, he gave 1 talent and told him the same thing. Work with them and work with this and report when I come back. Well, when the master came back, the one with 5 talents had 10. The master said, well done. The one with 2 talents had 4. The master said, well done. But the one with 1 talent had only 1. He said to the master, he said, I know that you're a hard man, and I didn't want to lose this talent, so I buried it and did nothing with it. And the master took that talent away and rebuked him and gave that talent to the one with 5 talents. And so the lesson is, if you're given the gift of life and you're doing nothing with it, you are dishonoring your creation. And you will continue, and I'll say it like this, if you're not goal-oriented and not creating the life you desire, you'll continue in your suffering. Now, the first group, those who are really happy with your progress, happy with your performance, and many of us are accomplishing great things, one victory after another. We set a goal, we accomplish it. We set daily goals, we accomplish them. then I say to you, don't become complacent. If you're achieving all your goals, if you're doing everything you set out to do each day, then you need to set bigger goals. You need to choose bigger tasks. There's a lot more out there that you're not challenging yourself to become, to do, to be, to have. So if you're accomplishing the things that you want to do and everything is going well, do more. Put out more energy, put out more vibrations, put out more effort. Now, group 2. I think that's where a lot of us fall in group 2, and that we are not happy with where we are right now. We know we could have done better. We're not excited about the things we've accomplished. We're not where we thought we would be. You know, when we look at our present situation and you look back at your goals, the things you set out to do, it's very easy to say, you know what? I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be. And when you see this, this is when you start looking to evaluate, do you need to make a mid-course correction? Do you need to change the direction of your life? Well, how do you know that it's time to consider a mid-course correction? Well, number one, I think you're not happy, of course, but you also have this sense that there's something off inside. You know, you get that feeling. It's like, and many times we don't know what we do want, but we definitely know what we don't want. And so you feel a little off inside and not excited about what you're doing. And I call it discontent. It's almost like divine discontent. Something inside says you're not getting what you want. You're not achieving the things you desire. And even many times when you achieve certain things, they don't bring you the joy you thought they would bring. And I say this is like a soul, a nudge to your soul saying there's more for you. There's more for you. You have to stop, though, and be still a moment to listen to that inner voice to say, listen, whatever you're doing right now, this is not you. This is not your capacity. This is not your potential. Slow down and let that inner voice guide you. As they say, be still and know that there's more great things out there for you. Many of us are at that point where the results we're getting doesn't reflect the efforts we're putting in. In other words, we're working harder and harder and getting less and less. Now, I know that. I've been there. And if you've been there, put something in the chat. If you've been there at that point in your life where you say, I'm putting forth all the effort, I'm doing all the things I used to do, but the results I'm getting are not the ones I want. It's almost like you're working and moving through quicksand. You're going through all the motions, but you're not making much progress. And so the results you're getting are not in harmony with the efforts you're making. Been there, done that. Yes, yes. Okay. And I think many of us are there. I know those of us in sales and marketing, we often get to that point where we're doing the stuff we did when we started out, but now we meet that lull, that point where we sort of get stuck. And that's a good time to really examine whether the direction you're taking is really for your highest good. Sometimes we can be working hard at something that we did not even create for ourselves. Many of us are guilty of living other people's dreams, living other people's expectations. And so when you find that you're doing stuff and you're not getting the results, that there's a clue there that you might be living somebody else's expectations. Because when you're in alignment with what you should be doing, with the purpose of your creation, everything flows. And I know all of you who've had success in life have seen that happen. The person you want to meet shows up. I just saw one of our uh, participants, Paris Williams. Paris was sharing how she's always wanted a store, and all of a sudden the store shows up, and now she's moving into her new store. Well, when you're in alignment with your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing, stuff happens, man. It flows. But when you're not in alignment, that's when you get friction. You go like, wow, you know, no matter what I do, nothing's happening right. Finally, a third sign that it's time to make a mid-course correction is when you feel that you have outgrown your current identity. When you have outgrown the person that your environment, that your friends, that your family think you are. That's a tough situation. You know, it's almost like you're living the life of the caterpillar, but the butterfly in you wants to come out. So your mindset and your vision now has expanded beyond the people who are close to you. And we've seen it happen. All of it. You know, if you're up this time of morning on this call or on Instagram or on YouTube, if you're up at 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, you're living a purpose-driven life. You just don't happen to be here at 8 o'clock. You're here because you want to be. And so many times your vision has expanded beyond what everybody else sees you as, and that's the time to say, man, I need to make a change. I need to get some new friends, number one. Everybody is not in your life for the whole journey. The scripture says, to all things there's a season. There's certain people in your life for a season. And as you find that you're growing bigger and bigger, many of them fall away. Growth requires that you get rid of the old before you embrace the new. There's the parable of the new wine. Don't pour new wine into old wine skins, because when you do that, the wine skins will explode and you lose the wine and the wine skins. And so when you've outgrown your surroundings, it's saying to you, you got to get rid of some baggage. Dawn did a beautiful talk last week on lift, and how if you're going to get off the ground in your life, you got to get rid of some of the baggage, some of the stuff that's holding you down, the thoughts, the emotions, the habits, the people that are holding you on the ground and keeping you on the runway of life, keeping you in the cocoon as a caterpillar, keeping you in the nest as an eagle. I also like to look at where we are from a practical point of view, an operational point of view. You know, sometimes we look at where we are, we say, you know, I want to make a change. But let's look at it from an operational point of view, a very personal point of view. And when you say, well, this is the situation I'm in, there's a question you have to ask, well, did I do everything I was supposed to do to create the vision that I want? Christine Quinn did a talk, and she was saying when she trained insurance salespeople, and they weren't getting the results that they were expecting, she would ask them, well, how many did you set 3 appointments today? No. Well, then you're not going to make any sales. Those of us in network marketing, did you reach out to some new prospects today? Did you do X number of presentations today? And so many times when we assess our situation and we're thinking about a mid-course correction, the correction is internal. We need to fix ourselves. Maybe we have not been focused on income-producing activities in business. Maybe we have not been focusing on results-producing activities in life. Maybe we have let distractions and other people's situations pull us off. So this checkup on the inside is critical before you go making a mid-course correction, because you always bring yourself to the party. If you're not doing everything necessary to create the life you desire, changing direction is not going to help you because you're bringing yourself to that direction. You're still a captain of the ship that doesn't know where it's going and that's not doing everything it needs to do to get where it wants to go. Another question, did you give it enough time? When you look at your present status and your goals and the things you set out to do and the results that you're getting, did you give it enough time to manifest? We often talk about the farmer. As a matter of fact, yesterday we planted tomatoes and cucumbers. Now, we have beautiful tomatoes, and I love to plant my own tomatoes because the ones you buy in the store don't taste the same. But those tomatoes take a certain amount of time to grow. And if they don't have that time to grow, I can't eat tomatoes next week or in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks. But in the cycle of the tomato, I can enjoy the sweetness of that tomato. But I have to give it enough time to grow. So when you look at your situation right now, whatever's going on in your life, whatever you wanted to manifest in your dreams and your goals, did you allow enough time, do enough of necessary actions and activities to make it happen? And then the third internal issue to look at is, are you doing what you love? Now that's a deep one, folks, because so often in life we get started on a trajectory that's designed by somebody else. Your parents may have wanted you to do something. You may be in a relationship and you got family, you got responsibilities that dictate what you do. But at some point in life, you have to be determined to not do something you hate doing. And so if you don't love what you're doing, it's time to make some changes. So this is all a part of this assessment process now of looking at us from the inside, looking at us from the outside. Then what are the steps to make this mid-course correction? What are the steps to change the direction of our lives? Well, number one, to recognize that all that we're talking about, life leaves clues. And that the signs are always speaking. When we pay attention, it makes a big difference. So that it's not a failure that we went through. It was an opportunity for growth that we went through. That when we have a Goliath moment, we could be knocked out by Goliath, or we can grow through the victory over Goliath. So let's look at the clues that life is leaving. When we're not happy, it's not a sign of failure. It's not a sign of confusion. But it's a moment of wisdom. It's an invitation now to recalibrate and make that mid-course correction. The second law of success says, be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind. So follow the signs, act accordingly. Number two, to recognize that wherever you are and whatever you're doing right now, you're one decision away from exactly what you want to be, do, and have. I was working with a person who's now becoming a great musician, a great producer. And he said, I asked him, what one thing was that turning point in your life? He said, the day I stopped drinking. He said, all I had to do each day was not drink. Was just to go to my AA meetings, stay on the path, but don't take that drink. All I had to do was stay on the path. And that when I did that, I was able to get where I am right now. The butterfly effect is very powerful. The butterfly effect says that there's a theory that a butterfly flapping his wings in Iowa may create a cyclone or a hurricane in China. You say, well, what does that mean? That means that little things, small things, as John Wooden said, those little things that you can change in your life. I guarantee you that if you're up listening to this broadcast, then you're pretty much near the path. You may have wandered over a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. You may not quite see what's beyond the hill, but you are on the path. And so the idea of a mid-course correction is to recognize it's just a small decision. It may be a decision to say, look, let me keep trying. Let me put the pedal to the metal. Don't stop for rest and reward too soon. Keep going, keep going. I love that movie with Chris Gardner. What was it? About the stockbroker. Will Smith played him. And he was saying that once somebody gave him an opportunity to get on that phone and sell securities, that all he thought of was dialing for dollars. And then when the others came in the morning, he was dialing. When they left the office, he was dialing. And so this thought now of really one decision away, that one decision. The other day I was looking back. One of the reasons to keep a daily a journal, to have a daily planner, and to write the things you do each day in your planner, is I find that when I'm off track, and I go back and look at the week before, I have a lot of empty pages. And those empty pages are the result of one decision. A decision each night to say, man, I'm tired. I don't feel like laying out, and all kinds of great excuses. I don't feel like writing. The Pursuit of Happiness. That's the movie. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. That one decision to not lay out your game plan the night before. That one decision now gives you a day of lack of direction and lack of results. So to recognize that one decision to stop doing something or start doing something, one decision to leave some people alone and attract other people into your space, that one decision to go one more step, to go the extra mile, to take one more blow, to take one more shot. Because it's that one decision that can magnify and change your entire life. The third key to this mid-course correction is to really seek clarity. You know, one of the issues that we find is that when we are, you might say, lost in the sauce, when we're not getting the results that we desire, when we're not happy about what's going on, it requires that GPS moment. A GPS requires two things, a destination and a location. And so seek clarity now. Ask yourself, what do I really want? What do I really want to do? How do I want my life to look? It's not the past version of your life, but it's the future potential of your life that you focus on. And focus on it with such clarity that you write it down in great detail, that you give it a sensory interpretation so that you can make your heart sing and jump and do things to create the life you want. You must be courageous. You see, the moment you set out for you means that you have to change your focus from pleasing other people. You have to change your focus from indulging in sensual endeavors that pull you away from your work and your focus. You must have the courage to tell people, don't call me between 2 and 5. Don't interrupt me. You see, this idea of courage means that you have to now put you as number one. It's not selfish. It's necessary to protect the seed corn. You know, as a farmer, you always set aside some corn for the seed corn. And so you are the seed corn of your future. And so you have to protect that seed corn from negative thinking, from negative emotions, from bad habits, from negative people. And then finally, the key to the mid-course correction is to just don't talk it. Just don't talk it and write it down. You got to walk it. You got to do it. And once you decide and make that decision to do it, and then execute your plan on a daily basis and hold yourself accountable for the results that you desire, nothing is impossible. So let us just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out slowly as we wrap up. So this moment, you're not stuck, you're not lost, and it's never too late to change direction. This moment, you can address that restlessness inside you. You can focus on results producing activities. This moment, you can see that bigger version of you, the eagle in you, the butterfly in you, and act accordingly. This moment, you can do the checkup from the neck up so that you focus on doing what you love, so that you focus on doing whatever it takes, whatever the activities are that are necessary to create the life you desire to do it, and being committed to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to get it done. Always work on you, each and every day. Follow the signs that constantly appear and recognize that you have the power to change direction, that it's never too late, that you have the power to seek clarity, to have courage, and to commit to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to free the butterfly within you, to soar with the eagles within you, and to do what you love each and every day, always knowing that the best is yet to come. So it is. Let's just take a deep breath for a moment. Let it out slowly. I want to thank each and every one of you for being with us this morning on Instagram. Thank you so much. When we post it, please make comments and share, and tell how this message can help you in your life on YouTube. Also, share this broadcast, make comments, and those of you on Zoom, hang tight for our discussion. So this is Dr. Herbert Harris, once again, thanking you for being with us. Once again, thanking each and every one of you and reminding you, each and every one, of the perfect gift. Graduation season is here now, and the perfect gift that can transform a person's life is a copy of our book, an autographed copy of the 12 Universal Laws of Success. We have a special website, www.theperfectgift.me. And when you get 3 or more copies, 3 or more autographed copies, you get a complimentary 7-night, 8-day vacation somewhere in the world where you would like to be. So thanks so much for being with us. Remember this, you can be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have anything you desire, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is.